Self-deception sinks ship. Many planes fall out of the sky because of overconfidence of the pilots. Self-deception encourages ignorance. It eliminates the need for self-control. And you can get so intoxicated with the sense of power that you can end up saying something like, I can kill someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue and get away with that. So we, the intelligent people, don't really engage in self-deception. Do you engage in self-deception? No, but your husband, he's full of it. Yeah, so the point is that we don't do it. When others do, it is so transparent to us. We can see exactly when other people engage in self-deception. So it's obvious to the other people. So let's look at these two guys. This is Johnny, comes back to his dorm room after a party and tells Danny, his roommate, that he just met the love of his life. He met the mother of his future children. She is so wonderful. And then he says, well, what is it so special about her? And Johnny says, she is so smart and sensitive, and she has a fantastic sense of humor, and she's curious about so many different things. And he goes on and on about things he knows absolutely nothing about. The real reason for the attraction is this. Why is it that you want to see it again? That's the real reason. Okay, we don't see it. Here it is. Why is it that Danny is buying all this bullshit from Johnny? Because he would have thought and said exactly the same thing under these same circumstances. So it's not that obvious to us when others are doing that. So let's look at another misconception about self-deception, which is it always about promoting our ego? What do you think? Is self-deception about promoting ego? Oh, well, I'm about to tell you, it's not only about that. There are so many other ways in which we deceive ourselves. We trust our memory. And our memory is so fragile. It is so easy to instill memories in your heads. The episodic memory, which is the type of memory that eyewitness testimony calls upon, is so fragile and so reconstructed that there is actually an inverse relationship between the level of conviction you have as a witness and the veracity of what you say. Totally inverse relationship. What other things about ego don't appear there? We have a belief that we know what makes us happy. We have a perception of well-being that is actually the major motivation we have in life. We design our life in order to meet the goals of, I would like to be happy in life. Actually, we are terribly wrong about that too. Let's talk about mental states. Do we have what's called privileged access? Do I know I'm in pain, I'm in love, I'm infatuated? By the way, infatuation has a shelf life, right? And you can see from the Johnny and Danny story why the shelf life is about 9 weeks only, if it's based on such ignorance, right? These are glorious 9 weeks. I'm not taking anything away from that. Do you think that you know why you laugh? Laughter is something that we practice almost every day. Right? We think that we laugh because something is funny, yes? I got news for you. More than 80% of the time you laugh, there was nothing funny around. Absolutely nothing. We think that we laugh because we communicate pleasure. No, we laugh in a movie house when we are all alone looking at the screen. We think that laughter indicates pleasure. No, laughter also has a sinister side to it. The Columbine murderers were laughing as they were shooting their friends. Do we think that self-deception is a mark of some mental disease, like narcissism, or pathology? Do we think that it should be eradicated at all costs? I hope that after my 15 minutes in the sun today, you will think otherwise. Okay, so memory is a self-deception that we engage in on a constant basis. Personal stability. We think that we are exactly the same person we've always been, or if we are smart enough to notice a change, we think that we are the person that will be tomorrow and for the rest of our lives. And actually, we don't know ourselves that well. Milgram's notorious experiment some 50 years ago showed that the majority of people are capable of doing incredibly terrible things that they would never dream they can do with the slightest amount of pressure, not even any risk to their life, just someone in a white coat in the room with an air of authority. Yes? So self-deception is not about ego, not all the time. Just some of the time. Okay, so let's look at this. Raise your hand if you think that you're better than the average driver. Some forms of self-deception come highly recommended, and not only by me, by bigger brains than me. We need to have some optimistic view of the future that is not well warranted. We need to have a sense of self-efficacy that is not actually sustained by the facts. Helen Keller, for instance, we would have never known about her if she only lived up to the visible potential that she had at the time. Okay? So, here are the recommended self-deception. Right? This was a seminal paper that came up in 1988 or so, and it says, exercise unrealistic optimism. And why would you do that? Because you want to have better relationship with your wife. You want to forget these daily mistakes and so on. You want to overestimate control of yourself and the environment. So the question is, how do we go about doing that? How can we do that? Okay, so I like you to see my racquetball partner. This is Ethan. Okay, I'd like you, if you look really, really hard, you're going to notice that there are some discrepancies in the initial resources, right? Like maybe wingspan, right? And testosterone level, right? So chances are that he's going to wipe the floor with me. Yes? Okay. What do I do in order to mitigate the pain of defeat? I walk to the court like, yeah. I'm leaning my shoulder, I want it. This. And the racket, I didn't restring it for 3 months. Now, this is called self-handicapping. And it works like a charm. Because if I fail in this endeavor, it was expected. And if I beat him, I get twice the glory at no price. Right? And self-handicapping is actually so prevalent that there is a term for a student who actually pretends not to learn for a test and actually violates this social contract, right? It's called sneaky booker. So now we know about that. And there are some other ways, right? We have a built-in system that tells us, that gives us incredible tools for managing a terrific, healthy level of self-deception. One of them is rationalization. I like you to imagine that you come out of, say, Walmart and realize that you got more change than you deserve. Yeah? You gave the cashier $50, she gave you change from $100. You take yourself to be a good citizen, a decent person, yeah? What do? You keep walking to your car. By the time you get to your car, you have 37 solid, valid reasons for keeping the money that you don't deserve, right? Rationalization saves us right and left. Attribution is a fantastic way to hypocritically assign causes to your success and failure. Yes? So let's call external causes those that are caused by, like I had the flu, and internal are due to your personality or attributes, right? So the two of us are taking a test, right? And the two of us are doing well. I did well because I'm smart. You did well because you're the teacher's pet. Okay? The two of us are applying for a job, and neither one of us got it. Why do you think I would say that she didn't get it? Excuse me, stupid. Yeah, you're just incompetent, right? Why is it I didn't get it? I had the flu on the day of the interview, right? So attribution is something that you can put a mirror in front of people and show them that they are hypocritical about how they assign internal causes to their success and external causes to other people's success, right? I failed because the dog ate my homework. You failed because you're an idiot, okay? Denial is something that we are doing right and left. We rewrite history and so on. Magical beliefs are incredible source of amusement, actually. When people were given a golf ball that they were told was magical, they actually were 35% more successful in putting it. So it works. It works. Now, ethical fading means that the more you do something that is immoral or goes against your values, the less painful it becomes. So just more do, right? The first lie comes hard, that's the second one, it's a little easier, and so on. Okay, so why is it that we do that? We have incredible adaptive benefits. The major one is economize on mental resources. Our brain consumes over 20% of the body's energy, the glucose and the oxygen. The brain parts constantly fight for real estate. When we engage in self-deception and we eliminate reality, so to speak, the brain is much better capable of actually meeting daily goals. It satisfies basic dispositions like a sense of control that we need. We have better relationship if we just gloss over the daily little things. If we actually confront our spouse for everything, we can create more damage than initially was done by the source of the conflict. It reduces, do you know that we actually produce more T cells in our immune system as a result of self-deception, yeah? And it lowers depression. The people who actually view life with really as it is have a tendency for clinical depression. So watch it. Yeah? Okay. High self-efficacy, which is your sense of how well you can do something, depends on that. You don't go to a job interview without believing that you can get it. Okay? So now we are about to exercise, to practice what we preach. Okay? So can I ask you all, please, to get up? Everyone stand up. We are going to do a very low-key jumping jack like that. Okay? We are going to do 5 of them, and then you don't have to go to the gym for a week. Okay? Can you all count with me? Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes! Thank you.